I created an AI agent that will hunt down invoice payments for you. This is useful because a lot of service-based businesses forget to follow up on their invoice payments and don't end up getting paid. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can build this from start to finish. Now let me show you a quick demo of how it works. So this app is pretty straightforward. You can see that you can create an invoice. You could chase the payment with the chase button. And that chase button will create a workflow that will email the person that owes you money 3 times, basically chase the payment. And in those emails, it will include the reference number for the invoice, the account number. It will include some other just contextual information for them. And each of the emails is different. Like I said, this is extremely helpful for service-based businesses, whether it's plumbers or electricians that don't have the time to go chase payments. So you can create this system that will automate the whole process for them. So let me show you how to build it. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is we want to go to ChatGPT and we want to scope out our project from a technical perspective. So we'll type what we're doing, which will say, I'm building an automation tool that detects overdue invoices and automatically sends 3 escalating reminders via email to clients until the invoice is paid. Escalations can happen with OpenAI. For OpenAI to create the escalating messages that get contained in the emails, I told it to use Supabase as a database, which I really like to use Supabase, so that's why I'm using it. And I told it to add a UI to manage who owes me money. And so I can kind of manage it. So if somebody pays me, I can mark it as paid. And now I'm asking for a technical feasibility score out of 100, which this is really important because this will tell us if there's any flaws in our logic. The score is below 85%. That means that we need to rethink our plan. But if it's above 85%, which it says it's at 93, then we're good to go. So let's just see what it thinks about this. Okay. Great. So I will add people manually within the UI. So this is just to make it simpler. You could integrate this with your CRM or database you're using that has the people that owe you money, whether it's Stripe or whatever. Just for simplicity, we're going to just keep it all simple. And I'm going to add them manually. Okay, great. Okay, great. Now give my developer a plan and implementation guide. Great, so now we're going to have it give like a full scope of understanding that we can hand off to our developer, aka Claude Code, to build out this app for us so that it has a full understanding of what we're trying to do from a technical perspective. Okay, now while that's doing that, let's go to Cursor and let's set up a new project. Create a Next.js app, use JavaScript, save it to my desktop, call it invoice chaser app. So now we'll give this a minute to do its thing and we'll go back here. Okay, I think this looks really good so far. So great, let's just copy that. See where this is at. So this is going through and creating our app and saving it to our desktop. We want to just let it do its thing. This could take a couple minutes, so I may cut it. So it looks like it worked. Unfortunately, Cursor is kind of going off the rails right now and it's doing a bunch of stuff that I didn't ask it to do, so we're just going to stop it. And now we're going to open up our terminal. CD desktop, CD, what is this called? That, and then type Claude. Yes. Great. So now we're inside the project. And we also want to drag it in here so that we can run the development server. npm run dev. Great. So here's our demo project. It's just a scaffolding essentially of an app. So now let's go back to ChatGPT. Let's take this and let's look for our terminal and then paste it in. Great. So now just kind of let it do its thing for a minute. Maybe go to the bathroom, grab a snack. It's creating a to-do list of things that it needs to do, and this will take probably like 5 minutes. Okay, now it's asking if we want to proceed. I just say yes and don't ask again for any npm install, because I find that on these projects, it'll install a bunch of different packages, and I honestly don't want to sit here and look over its shoulder. I trust it to do its thing, so I always hit yes all. So while that's doing that, let's head over to Supabase because we're going to need our API keys for Supabase. Let's create a project. Let's name it the same thing as what we created our app. Great, so now our project is initializing. Let's go back here. Yes. env.example. Okay, so now here's all the places that we need to put our API keys. We'll start with Supabase. Needs the URL, project URL, a non-key, a non-public key, cool. What else does it need? Service role key, which that might be in API keys, maybe? Yeah. Now we're going to also need to go get our API keys from OpenAI. So platform.openai. Call it the same thing that we called our app. Great. Paste it in there. And now for my from email, I'll say it's just my personal email for now. And then Google Client ID. I'll ask how to get this. How do I get this? And now let's go check on how the project is doing. Okay, so it's still doing its thing, which is fine because we're still getting our API keys. So first, go to the Google Cloud Console. Create a new project. New project. Let's call it the same thing. Navigate to APIs and services and then to credentials. APIs and services, credentials, create credentials, then OAuth 2.0 client IDs. So create credentials, OAuth client ID, right? Yeah. Configure the OAuth consent screen. We'll call this the same thing. Use my support email. Just go external, sure. Contact information. Okay. Application type. Web app. Invoice chaser app. Give it a name, okay, for testing. Use this. Is that the URI or? Yeah, URI. Then click this one, I guess. Let me just ask it. You can always ask if you don't know, and it will tell you. Great, and the terminal is still going. You have an error that needs to be fixed. The red warning says invalid origin. Okay. Change from that to that for origins. Okay, so that worked. For authorize URIs, keep that. Okay, great. So create. And I'm going to delete all this, so I'm okay with exposing it for right now, just FYI. Okay. Perfect, you now have Google credentials, client ID, client secret. So, okay, so I still need my refresh token. But for right now, let's copy and paste those. Playground. Settings. Use your own OAuth. Your client ID and client secret. Now what? Perfect, you can see you're in the OAuth. Select the API scopes you need. So Gmail API v1. Okay, so here's one. So here's one. Here's two. And then that one is not showing up for some reason. Okay, so I'll just tell it, I got these two, but I can't find the third. I got these two, but can't find. Okay, now let's go back here. Okay, it's still doing its thing. You have the Gmail scope selected, which is great. Might be under a different API section. So they change this, like not often, but semi-often. So sometimes you gotta kind of dig through it. The two you have selected are excellent. You can proceed with just these scopes, click authorize APIs. Okay, we'll just go with that then. Okay, and now it said this. The error redirect URI mismatch means OAuth Playground is trying to use a redirect that doesn't match your client. So I need to go back to the Google Cloud, go back here, and authorize redirect URIs. Okay, so in theory now it should work. Okay, maybe it hasn't updated yet. Let's go and do the other stuff first. So run the database migration to set up your schema. So what we'll need to do is we'll need to go to Supabase, migrations, functions, okay. So first we'll run this. Go to the SQL editor, create new snippet, see what happens, hopefully this works. Okay, great, success. 2, create new snippet, success, reminders, success, yes, success, function, okay. Nice, okay, so that should be good. Deploy the edge function using the provided script. So edge functions, deploy new function. Looking at you're close but not quite, here's the correct process. You already have a function called rapid worker. I could see it in your interface. To deploy your edge function, click on the index.ts. Okay. Replace the code with your code. Okay. Okay. see. Great. I guess that worked. So let's go back. And now let's check if this works. Okay, let's see what it says. Because you need to enable the Gmail API in your Google Cloud. Okay, APIs and services, library. Okay. Okay, hopefully this should do it. Also enable Google Plus API. Okay. This error is good news. It means your app is working, but you need to add yourself as a test user since your app is in testing mode. Okay. I feel like we're getting there. OAuth consent screen, which... OAuth consent screen. Scroll down to test users. Oh, here it is. Let's go. Okay, so it's under audience. Okay, now that we've added ourselves as a test user, let's just continue on. So we see that localhost 3003 has an error, so we will go copy and paste the error. Okay, so there's a missing package. Awesome. So now it looks like it's starting to work. Don't have an account, sign up. Okay, we'll use that, sign up. Check your email. Okay, great, we are in. Amazing. So for this new invoice, let's just make a fake invoice, add new customer, Johnny Bravo. Let's just say their email is ideas@explodingideas.co, which is one of my email addresses. They owe, let's just say $100, and the due date, it was yesterday. Create invoice. Okay, so we created an invoice. Now let's see if anything was sent to us. No reply. Okay, that's not it. Okay, so for this, we'll say, look, I'm using Cursor now. I like to usually use Claude Code as like a wide brush, and then I use Cursor as more of like a fine-tuning brush to really get in there into the details, because I can see the code and I feel like I can make some more like nuanced adjustments, where with Claude Code is great for setting up like dashboards and like high-level architecture, but if I really want to go into the weeds, then I'll usually use Cursor to complete the rest of the project. I just logged and created invoice. It was due yesterday. I didn't send an email to the guy, to the entry, and it should send 3 separate emails separated by time. So like one email should send immediately, one should send after 1 minute, just for the sake of this video, so that you can see that you can create basically a follow-up workflow, and then another should send after 2 minutes, and each should escalate in language to collect the money. For the payment link, so for this, you could set it up to have a Stripe link embedded, but for the sake of like simplicity, we're going to use like a fake account number and routing number that you may have for a bank account to get paid directly. For the payment link, and fake account number and routing number for the sake of this implementation MVP. Okay, perfect. I can see you already have a well-structured email reminder system. However, your current system waits days between reminders, but you want immediate escalation within minutes. So that's just a change that we're making just for this video specifically. Let me create a new system that will send 3 escalating emails within minutes when a new invoice becomes overdue. Okay, so let's copy this. We're going to need to go run it into our SQL editor. New invoice, invoice number, Johnny Bravo. This time he owes $200, due date. Let's put it in the past. So let's say May 28th, create invoice. Okay. 1 overdue invoice, email 1, send immediately. Okay, each email escalates. Okay, now we have a bad loop. So repeating loop with this alert message. So if this ever happens for you, this message right here is called an alert. So if it keeps popping up or something, that's how you identify it. Just tell it there's an alert message. Okay, let's try this one more time. So let's go and click chase. Okay, chase sequence started. Sounds good. Okay, that's a good sound. We like to hear that. Payment reminder, dear Johnny Bravo, this is a friendly reminder for the invoice, $200 due, 3 days overdue. Please submit payment. Yeah, that looks great. Now let's wait another 60 seconds. You can make this a really complex workflow. So this could be every 2 weeks, one goes out, and then if you mark as paid, then it stops the flow. This could be really powerful. Cool, here's email 2. Let's just give it another minute, and then the last email should trickle in. And here it is, final notice. So our final email arrived, it's working, the whole workflow works. If you want the code for this, let me know, I can drop it down below. Also, if you want to work together, feel free to click my link below and you can reach out. Let me know what other kinds of videos you guys want to see. I'll see you next time.